Welcome, boys and girls out there in TV land. Today on Mayhem Kitchen, we're going to make a favorite southern dish. A lot of people will call it craft dinner. Macaroni and cheese. This is not macaroni and cheese. This is orange dust with noodles. Some people put the Wisconsin Midwestern Canadian hot sauce on it, also known as ketchup. We don't do that. And you can always put some mustard on it, but the truth is mustard actually will wang it up a little bit for you if you like that. But we're not going to do it that way. We're going to go old school. So, you want to think about this, Juneteenth is coming up, right? That's a very important day. It's a day for good stuff. And think about the man who brought macaroni to us. His name was James Hemings. You don't know who that is? Go look him up. You learn something. But I'm going to show you how we make it back the old school way. With a lot of good cheese, a lot of butter, and some more butter, and some more cheese, and some more butter. Add some more butter to that, and some more cheese. Let's go in here and start boiling up some noodles, shall we? Not even macaroni. I don't even think I got macaroni. Let's see what we got, but we're going to start boiling. Let's go. So we're going to boil the macaroni, right? But here's the thing. We were talking earlier, I don't have real elbow macaroni. What I got is, this is what's left over. It's got some rigatoni. You got some rotini. Who cares? Macaroni is macaroni. Now, we got to measure the water, right? No, fuck that. Why you measure water? You're going to dump it out anyway, so just get your fucking water. So do about that much water, right? Whatever. We're going to put that right there. What are you going to do now? This is part of the secret. You add milk to it. And the reason why you add milk to it is because that milk, this will absorb whatever's in here. So if it's just salt and water, well, it's going to be salty. But if you put this in there, it'll make that macaroni and cheese a little silky. So here I got some 2% milk. And so we're going to go. There we go, right there. I used this is a 2-liter little jug, and I used probably almost a liter, but not quite. So this measuring cup right here, we don't need that. Throw that shit over here. We use that at a different time. I'm going to turn this oven on. There we go. Get that thing boiling real good. I might add a little bit of salt, just old basic table salt. There we go. That's about a tablespoon. And plop. Some people add oil to it to keep it from boiling over, but we're going to keep an eye on it because we're going to kind of do it al dente because we're going to bake it later. And a lot of the oil and the fat and the grease that comes from that cheese and the butter we're going to add to it is going to absorb into that too. But we're going to let this, once it starts boiling, I'm going to start adding stuff. I'm going to start adding this rigatoni. And then I got some of this rotini, and there's a little bit of rigatoni in there because I added a bunch to the box. I'll probably this is probably makes sense. There we go. We got a whole box now. Go ahead, some bitch over there. Now, here we got that. We're going to do that in a minute. Let's get that thing boiling first, shall we? All right. I'll come back when it's boiling. We'll add this stuff. We'll go to town. That's what we're going to do. All right, then.
This episode of Mayhem Kitchen is brought to you by Wisconsin Canadian Hot Sauce. It's the condiment that brings spice to your life and a tear to your eye, with a nuclear potential that makes third world dictators jealous. It may be just ketchup in the States, but it's red-hot fire from the bowels of hell in Canuckistan. Now back to the show.
Okay, so here we are with our pot. It's starting to simmer real good. We're about to be on a boil. This is a stainless steel pot. Always you can use metal with a stainless steel pot. But if you got a non-stick, and non-stick does come in handy, don't use this as stainless non-stick because it might tear off the Teflon. It might tear all that stuff off. And when you do that, it's crazy. But right now I got this stuff steaming. Maybe you can see a little bit of that steam. That milk's kind of creaming up because it's 2% fat, so it's got a little cream to it. Now we're going to add the whole thing. some rotini, and some freaking whatever. I don't care, it's pasta, right? So we're gonna add it. Some people wash their pasta first. In this case, this pasta is, I'm good to go. Stir that up. See that right there? Can you see that right there? There we go. My tiny ass college size gas grill, which is awful. But that's what they give you. Same thing with my fridge. My fridge is like a college size thing. But what do you do? I mean, I have to use small pans. Half my pans don't even fit on me anymore. So, then we're going to let that start boiling. Once that starts boiling, we'll pull it out. We'll pull it out slightly before it needs to be. A good boil is about 4 or 5 minutes. You just got to test it. You got to taste it. One way to test spaghetti is when you think it's good. This old stupid thing. You take spaghetti and throw it against the wall. If it fucking sticks, then by God, the spaghetti's ready. Now, this is different. So we're going to make sure this is going on. That milk, that salt, that water, it's going to seep into that. And it's going to make it a little more silky, a little bit more creamy. And then we got some cheese and butter that we're going to add to all that. It's going to be all the creamy, cheesy thing you'd ever think in your life. So that'll be the next step. We got to let that sit though, because it brought the temperature down when I added that. We got to bring it back up to the temperature and it needs to boil. Maybe boil for 10 minutes. Maybe boil for 4 minutes. It's all different. Everybody's oven is different. Just remember that. Everybody's oven is different. So here we are. I cut the heat off. It rode the waves for like 6 minutes, so it's good to go. I did my little trial taste. Let me do another one. Here we go. I'll put that right there. Let it kind of cool off because it burned the hell out of you. Well, hot fuck. Al dente. Well, not totally cooked, but you know the rotini's already cooked. Dinner pasta. So what we're gonna do now, you're gonna take this. I'm gonna move this to here. I'm gonna go. Sorry, it's kind of silky tasting. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Yeah, you know. Let that drain. Now we're gonna, excuse me, we're gonna go out there and show how we're gonna make the rest of it. I don't know. I got all choked up. I love macaroni and cheese that much.
This episode of Mayhem Kitchen brought to you by fucking Yellow Ass Mustard. Ask for it by name wherever condiments are sold. Fucking Yellow Ass Mustard is the secret ingredient used by both home cooks and professional chefs around the world. If you're ready to take your food to the next level, reach for fucking Yellow Ass Mustard. Now back to the show.
Okay, so you saw me in the kitchen. One of the few times you'll see me in the kitchen. I got it set up now. We can do that, right? So I got my noodles ready to go, right? It's the rigatoni and rotini. They're good to go. All right, so here's what we got to do, though. Excuse me, I got to scratch my nose. This is unsalted butter, or this is salted butter, I'm sorry. Fresh cow butter, right? Slice it like this. Slice it like that. Just keep making slices. Now, a lot of times, me and Camille are the only two people who are going to eat this food. So I don't have a giant dish. So I have to make a bunch of them. And you got to be careful because the more you touch it, the more this butter's going to melt. Right? Oh, there we go right there. So we got all this butter sitting over here. We're going to move it over here. Now we're going to bring up a dish. This is the dish we would normally eat with. Now I've got a bunch of dishes because this is a lot of macaroni and cheese. I'm going to share it with some of the folks around here. So, and it kind of reminds me of a little story from Edisto Island, which is it's one of the Gullah Islands. I went to George and Pink's. George and Pink, they used to be a vegetable store. You can go in there and buy anything you want, okra especially. So anyway, here we're doing our first layer, right? We're doing our first layer, and we're going to throw 2 slices of this butter. Actually, we're going to break one of these in half. We're going to break that in half, and we're going to go here and here, right? Butter. Actually, we'll do a third one. I like butter. I want to give myself more butter. The people I'm sharing it with, they don't get as much butter. So then we got that butter. I'm going to put this over here because I don't need it right now. And we're going to take, this is the goat cheese. And the goat cheese helps cream it up. So I'm going to use my hand. I'm just going to take a little bit. Just a little bit. And I'm going to crumble it all over the place. Alright, that's just going to put a little cream. I put a little bit right there, but that's alright. I sanitized this table before we did this. Put that right there. And then I got the Manchego cheese, right? Just a little bit. It doesn't melt as good. Just a little bit. You see this? Just a little bit. Because when you're eating it, oh, there's a little bit right there. We'll put that right there. Because when you're eating it, all of a sudden out of nowhere you get a little pocket of cheese. That's always good. Anyway, at George and Pink's, man, I used to go get okra from there. I used to get everything. This is about 3 cups of shredded cheddar, marbled cheddar. And the reason why is marbled cheddar is the best cheddar up here you can get. I've made some slices. We'll put a slice there, and a slice there on top of the butter. Now I'm going to take this, just a little handful, and I'm going to go. We just want to coat it a little bit, right? We don't want to go crazy. We'll go crazy at the top. Oh, we're going to go crazy at the top. Anything left over gets thrown on the top. I got a little secret trick on the top. So we do that. Do a little bit more. Oh, yeah, that's nice right there, huh? Now, what you can do next? Hey, man, another layer of noodles. Here's my noodles. Try to do 3 layers. This one might only be 2. That's a shallow bowl. So we got the butter. I'm gonna cut them into 3s. So we're using 2 of these slabs of butter. We're using 3 slabs of butter for every time we do this layer, right? So we're gonna do this because buttered noodles. I mean, hell, did you ever eat buttered noodles when you was a kid? I did. Pretty good. Put enough salt on anything, man, it'll taste good. So you got that. Okay, now we're gonna, a little bit more goat cheese, just a little bit. We're not gonna do much because all it is just adds to the creaminess of it. We got the Manchego cheese, just a little bit right there, just a little bit, because it creates those pockets. And I still got these slices. I'm gonna put a couple slices here because I got tired of trying to shred this shit, to be honest. Sometimes when you're trying to shred a lot of cheese, it sucks. So I'll put a bunch of it in there, huh? Now we're gonna get this big handful of this. Oh, we're gonna get a big handful of this cheese, right? And then that as we were doing it earlier, that macaroni was cooked in milk. So there's a little bit of silkiness to it already. So here we go. So what we're going to do again, we're going to do some more noodles. So we take a handful, and it's okay. Wet hand, dry hand. That's the way you do things, right? Put a little bit more on there. I'm only going to show you this one. We're going to do this one, but I'm going to show you how I do it. And then we'll be done. And I'll show you what it looks like afterwards, and I might eat a little bit of it, right? So we'll keep putting these noodles. Oh, look at this. Rotini. Look at that. Phil Italian, huh? That's amore. Anyway, George and Pink's, they used to, in Edisto Beach, is a Gull Island, so I used to get all my fresh produce from them. They were really good. They're really cheap. Really good people. She'd tell you any recipe you wanted to. You go down there and you get chitlins. You get all kinds of stuff from her. Now I live in Canada and it's hard to get that kind of stuff. But that's okay, because people don't eat that stuff. Only poor people eat that stuff. And if you ever learn anything about poor people will take something that's really crappy and turn it into something great. And the next thing you know, all the rich people want to eat it. So rich people like to take away from poor people all the time, because they ain't got nothing better to do. They sitting around with their thumb up their ass. So fuck you, Jeff Bezos, and fuck you, Elon Musk. There we go. So anyway, here we go. We're gonna do. I gotta make some more, but we're only gonna do this real quick. We're gonna do this, do that. We got our 3 pieces of butter. We're gonna put that there. We're gonna put that there. We're gonna put that there because we're gonna soak down in there. Now what we're gonna do next? A little bit more goat cheese, but not a lot, just a little bit, because it just adds a little creamy pocket. Ooh, look at that. Now I got the Manchego cheese. Not a lot, just a little bit. And now my fingers are all goat cheesy, right? We're gonna get some big handful of this cheese right here. We're gonna do this. It's like layering it like a lasagna. And how can you go wrong when you layer something? Because when you bite into it, you're going to get a mouthful of everything, right? So we're going to do that. I got a little bit on the table, but that's okay. Let's let it ride. Now, a lot of people put panko breadcrumbs on top of this. Am I going to do that? No, because I'm going to show you a little trick. You want to have some cheesy macaroni? What you need to do, use this. Name brand. Here we go. Cheez-Its. Instead of using breadcrumbs, open this up. Get you a handful of these Cheez-Its. Just a handful, right? Here we go. Instead of breadcrumbs, what I'm going to do is this. Look at that right there. That'll brown up, and that's the extra cheesy one. So you're going to have a big kick-ass flavor of cheese right there at the beginning. It'll brown up really nice. So what I'll do is I'm going to go put this in the oven at 350. There's some argument about 325 and 375. I always split the difference. Let's do 350 for about 20 minutes because the noodles are cooked. All we're doing is melting cheese and butter. So about 20 minutes, but keep an eye on it because everybody's oven's different. And I'll show you what it looks like when I get done with it. And that's it. That's macaroni and cheese. Real macaroni and cheese, not that Kraft Dinner bullshit. So... And then there's people up here, they put ketchup on it. What the hell's that about? Why you want to put ketchup on cheese? Cheese is the best thing in the world. Mustard, maybe, but fuck, man. Anyway, Mayhem Kitchen. I'll show it to you in a minute after it gets cooking. We'll go from there, alright? Cheese. Cheese? Take care. I don't know. Cheese. It's going to be cheesy as shit. I know that for right now. I still got some more to make, but you don't need to see that. You already saw me do it once, right? Okay, let's go. Straight out the oven. Gonna make us a little bit of bowl of it. We're gonna eat some of that right there. Yeah, it's all crispy on the top, but you know it's gonna be all melted butter and stuff on the inside. You get a little brown on top, that's good. Let's try some, huh? There we go. That's what we're about to eat. A little bit. There, good right there. It's good. Crunchy on the top, a little bit of melty in the middle. Some butter, a lot of fat. Take 2 years off your life probably. Too much cheese, too much fat. That sure is good.